How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good.
I just want to first start off by saying that it was a pleasure working with your son today. He cooperated and participated in all the tasks, which made the evaluation session go real smooth.
Great. That's good to hear.
Yes, definitely. So I just want to say that we started off the session with the standardized assessment. It's the preschool language scale 4th edition, and it's really good for children who are younger. And this assessment does a great job in testing a child's expressive and receptive language skills. And it seemed to me that he has an expressive language delay. What means is that he doesn't have many utterances in his language to communicate with peers or teachers or family members effectively and efficiently. So it's really important when he gets to that school age that he's able to communicate with his teachers and the students in his classroom to be able understood. It will be really good for his social too behavior, to have friends and be able to talk to them about things that he really wants to say. But it did seem that his receptive language skills was perfect. He's right in with the norms of his age, so there's no need to worry about that. So expressive language is the language that you use to communicate with others, and a receptive language is what you understand or comprehend from what others are telling you. Do you have any questions so far?
Do you have any idea of what his diagnosis might be?
Yes. I think he has a childhood apraxia of speech, but since he's only 2.5 years old, I cannot diagnose that. Usually you diagnose a childhood apraxia of speech at 3 years old. So some of the behaviors that I noticed today that would demonstrate a childhood apraxia of speech was his expressive language delay, drooling, his groping. So these are all things that you should continue to watch out for, and maybe in a few months he should come back and get reevaluated if you don't think you want him to come in right now for services. But what I would recommend is your son coming in at least twice a week so the graduate clinicians can get used to working with your son and just establish that consistency so he knows who he's seeing when he's coming and it's not someone else, and just establish trust and a good rapport with them.
Okay.
I also have a few suggestions that you could use while you're at home or in his natural environment to help with his language development. One of the things is that when you're at home and you're cooking, and say you're cooking dinner in a pan, you could just be like, I'm cooking in a pan, 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 and just really use that repetition so he can develop his language that he needs. You can also use these books. They're Eric Carle books. My very first book of words, Brown Bear, What Do You See? And my very first book of numbers. And these are great books because they're aesthetically pleasing, they have great pictures and a lot of repetition in them, so he gets that feedback and all that language into him at one time. So these are great suggestions, I think, and ways you can incorporate this at home and when you're, say, going to the grocery store, going to the museum or a zoo.
Thank you so much for these suggestions. I'll definitely use them at home, and I feel so relieved that we're figuring out what's going on with my son and you're giving me helpful.
You're welcome, of course. Do you have any other questions?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay, I'm going to write up the evaluation report and I'll have it mailed to you in about 2 weeks, and I'll mail it to anyone else who was on the release and waiver form that you signed earlier.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome, and again, it was a pleasure working with your son and I really had a great time.
Okay, great.
Bye.
Bye.